So who was Rama? Many thousands of years ago, Rama was born as a crown prince of Ayodhya. And and child born in luxury went to a Gurukulam to sage Vashishta's ashram, who is the ancestor in our lineage. So his guru was our fountainhead guru, or my fountainhead guru. And so even Ishwara goes to a guru. That is the importance of the guru. But as it happens to many of us, darkness was awaiting its turn, and on the night before his crowning, Rama's stepmother, Kaikeyi, who loved him until now with wild abandonment, underwent a change of heart based on some sick gossip. And greed, ambition, and the sense of what will happen to me, my son should become the prince, my importance, my story, me, mine, am very important, and she became delusional. And to the very child she loved as her own, she ensured that he's banished for 14 years. His younger brother Lakshmana and his wife Sita, who is none other but goddess Lakshmi incarnate, left the palace, and Rama was just an amazing, iconic exemplification of what the entire yoga tradition teaches us, which is santushtaya yena kenava, completely in santosha or in a state of okayness with yena kena as the life circumstances are, rather than this must happen, that must happen, why did this happen, why didn't it happen, what could I do? It was just this radical acceptance of the moment and how the situations had transpired. And he left. He had experienced loss of crown, loss of motherly affection, loss of throne, his father also died with a heart attack in that process because his heart was Rama, who had been banished. But his awareness was vast enough because he's Ishwara incarnate to accommodate the good, bad, the ugly, and the lovely with yogic equanimity. So it's a great teaching for us. Rama changed his clothes, so did Sita and Lakshmana. They wore the clothes of hermits and they left. They formally took Kaikeyi's leave. It's traditional to touch the feet of elders in the Vedic Hindu tradition, and he did that. And then they wandered for 14 years in the forest, living in temporary hut dwellings amongst raw elements and wild animals. But they would come and sit with Ma Lakshmi and eat from her hand, and the forest would quickly bring on spring just to dazzle the gods and goddess, because nature has no confusion. They don't see a banished crown prince. They see Ishwara. And Ishwara can be Rama and Sita and blended gender, any form it wants, animal, tree, everything. The special three, Rama, Sita, Lakshmana, tried to make the best of their life. But in the 14th year, Ishwara orchestrated a circumstance that by such circumstances, there was a lusty-minded king in the neighboring kingdom of Lanka who happened to chance upon Sita and could do nothing but think of her, just like we become lusty for Lakshmi just because of money. We don't want to learn her dharma, her values, her nobility. We just chase money deep down. So he somehow managed to remove Rama from the forest, send Lakshmana away by pretending to be a golden deer. And Sita said, I would love to have that deer in my home. She had a little, enchanted garden with animals. She said, I would love to have him. So Rama went after her. So I'll get him. And in the meantime, Ravana pretended to be hurt and crying out the name of his brother, Lakshmana, Lakshmana. And Sita thought Rama is hurt. So she insisted Lakshmana go to the aid of her husband. He might have fallen off a cliff or something. Lakshmana didn't want to go. He said it was his duty, his dharma to be by her. But she said, I bid you. And when, your older mother-like sister-in-law says, I bid you, you go. That's your duty. So he left, but he drew a line around her. And because these were godly beings, she was safe in that. It's called Lakshmana Rekha, like a line around her, like a circle. Said, please, I beseech you to stay within this. And so now Ravana didn't know how to kidnap her. So then this lusty king known as Ravana took on the garb of a sadhu, a sage, a guru, pretending to be a holy person. So wow. Talk about the garbs of the guru versus the guru. But he was brimming with unholy intentions, and he begged her. He said, alms, Bhiksham Devi. This is a tradition that if a spiritual monk or a apprentice comes to your home, you have to feed them. So he said, please give me something to feed. She said, of course. But she said, come take it from here. And he said, no, you have to come to me. I'm senior to you because I am a sadhu. I'm a wandering monk. And somehow, and of course, this is to teach all of us something, she crossed that line. The magic protection was over. Ravana abducted Sita and he flew her in his flying chariot. And many trees came to her rescue. They tried to wrestle with Ravana. Birds and animals, emerged to fight with her. A grand eagle, mighty eagle, lost his life trying to protect Sita. But this was divine play, and Sita kept throwing her jewelry across the way, weeping and wailing, so that Rama, Rama, just like we wail, Rama, Rama, Ishwara, Ishwara. And so that there would be a trail. And, the story goes on, what happened and how she was kept in a special garden, an enchanted garden. But she said, you may bind and devour this body, which is a mere clod of earth. I'm not solicitous of the safety of this body or this life. And, she said in Rama, this was not a mere prudish statement. This was a very powerful choice, just in her conveying her unwavering devotion to Vishnu, to Rama, and to confront Ravana fearlessly with inner resilience. Anyway, so now we come back to, you'll have to read my book to come back to the story, but or I might share it in a Shraddha session where we talk about these avatars and deities. So I'll bring up Rama definitely, the Rama Sita in these sessions. I might need up to 2 or 3 Shraddha sessions to complete it. But the point is that Rama and Lakshmana set out on a search for Sita. They were following her trail. They met, many animals who showed the way, and then they met Hanuman, the monkey god. So very, very beautiful story. And of all the ashrams, because many gurus had been alerted that Ram is out, and gurus have the recognition that he's not just a prince, it's something special. This is Ishwara. But Rama straight away expressed the desire to visit sage Matanga's ashram, because perhaps he knew that Shabari is waiting for him. In Shabari's case, she had waited many decades. Days had melted into weeks, weeks into months, months into years, years into decades. And with the passage of time, she had become older and older. But her heart remained steadfast in Guru Bhakti, which told her that she just has to wait for the arrival of Rama. Rama will come, and seeing Rama, she will be set free of samsara. So never once did she waver in her bhakti for Guru, which then made her doubt that Rama would ever come decades later. Who is Rama? She had not seen. She did not know that Rama had orchestrated these circumstances to come visit her. She didn't know. And in the whispers of the forest, the tales circulated that Rama's noble character and divine lineage, but she had not seen that. And while some speculated and others smirked, Shabari knew that Rama would come. So for her, the burden was not, it was not a burden to wait. It was joyful anticipation. And that is why every day she would go out to pick fresh berries because that's all she really had. So she thought, well, in case he comes today, I should have my berries ready. So she would gather berries meticulously, selecting the most ripe ones that looked the sweetest for her beloved Rama. And she would, wait. And then after the long day, it would become nighttime again. And she would remember him, call to him, but then be ready for the next day. Better sleep early because the fresh berries come out in the morning before the birds get them. And so she had all these plans for Rama coming any day. And then that day came when Rama showed up. And she ran to get her basket of berries. And then she joyfully offered them to Rama and her brother Lakshmana. And because she wanted him to have like the most excellent experience, she started first putting them in her mouth, chewing them a bit, her saliva mixing with it, making sure they're sweet. If they were even 5% less sweet, she'd set them aside. But if they were sweet, she'd take them out and she'd offer them. She was completely drunk in love, in bhakti. And this was the zenith of being the servant, where you've forgotten the difference between you and the one you serve. While Lakshmana said thanks after a few, Rama, in his infinite compassion, accepted each berry offered with love and saliva and ate it with such joy and childlike exuberance, fulfilling the longing of his devoted devotee that she welcomed Rama into the ashram. And in that moment, Rama satisfied both his own hunger, because he was hungry from wandering in the forest, and the hunger for the divine realization, for the yogic realization in Shabari's heart. And just through that servant love, she transcended her human limitations and entered a state of union. Mm. So this is Dasya Bhava. She went beyond rational service. So her tasting the berries is this intimacy that one comes into. When the ego is set aside, one keeps a list of what I did for so and so, how many lamps I lit, how many flowers I placed. It's about time you showed up. But this is true love, true bhakti, ensuring that only the sweetest berries graced divine lips. And then she says, Ade prapta tapasiddhihi tava sandarshanatmaya adya me sapalam janma guruvacha supujita. Today, the success of my penance, my yogic penance, my tapas, has been achieved by seeing you, like incarnate darshan. Today, my birth has become fruitful and my guru has been honored because you've kept his word. My guru has been honored. By you coming, I'm not honored. My guru has been honored. Look at this sentiment. And then she says that, And then she goes on to say, whether you are Ishwara or not Ishwara, I don't know. My guru told me to stay, so I stayed until your arrival. And now that you have arrived, my guru's words have led me to this darshan, and now I know that you are none other but Ishwara. Please release me from samsara, from suffering. As you had wished, I had taken birth as a common person. As you had wished, I found my Guru Matanga. So she recognizes Ishwara's will and all of that. I know that you are unknowable, but today you have become known to me. So and so forth. And then she says, I am not literate in Sanskrit, but I heard my Guru say this verse from this Upanishad about how Guru Bhakti and Ishwara Bhakti is same. So Rama, I want to tell you, I have done loads of Guru Bhakti. They were really offered to you. So then Lakshmana, who was a scholar of the Vedas, said from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Yasya deve para bhaktihi, yatha deve tatha gurau, tasya ete katita hi arthaha, prakashante mahatmanaha, prakashante mahatmana iti, which literally means for a noble seeker who reposes bhakti in Ishwara and an equal bhakti in Guru. To such a noble one, all truths ultimately reveal themselves. So Shabari says, yes, that one. So this is the dialogues going on in Ramayana. She says, yes, that one. And I stand ennobled after envisaging you, after seeing you now and following the instructions of my Guru. So I am purified by your sight, she says. Please lead me to the eternal world, to the eternal state of yogic emancipation, to moksha, to mukti, and please subdue my inner foes so that I can achieve that. And he says, yes, I will help you achieve the absolute. Have confidence in your guru. He doesn't have confidence in me. He says, have confidence in your guru. I shall take you to the world of eternal joy. And then he talks about, then he gives a lecture on the 6 inner enemies. One is karma or lust or excessive desiring. Lust plus excessive desires of the material kind in samsara. Krodha, which is illegitimate anger. Not the anger of the goddess, which is unnecessary anger. Lobha, which means greed. Moha, which means delusion. Mada means pride, right? And Matsarya means jealousy. So I'll talk about them separately. They really bind the ego. So although she was such a pure being, but she just let go of even any sediments by seeing Rama. And so there, she became released there and then. And he says, "O saintly one," Rama says to Shabari, "you treated me with such love, such affection, such bhakti. May you go to your cherished worlds, meet your gurus," because she had wanted when her guru transitioned, she had said, "Take me along." And he said, "No, your time has not come. You have to wait for Rama." She says, "Where you shall meet your cherished gurus, and you can solace yourself with your masters, with your teachers." So this is the conclusion of Shabari's story, that she got released, and in her release she achieved everything, including once again the company of her guru, Rishi Matanga. Many takeaways from this story, and it might feel like, wow, but it also, what you have to focus on is how she fed him saliva-filled berries. So Ishwara is not sitting on some podium wanting you to only burn the most expensive candle or incense, or if you go to such and such pilgrimage, or only if you follow such and such religion, or if only you chant this in Sanskrit, or if only you do this in Latin, will I be pleased. Ishwara is pure love, and when you offer love from this beautiful place, you shall be blessed with whatever was in your heart. So Shabari's dreams were her own dreams. I join my guru and I'm emancipated. She becomes a guru in her own right and she joins her guru. So this is what happens.